Hi, my name is Lady Shayo, and today I'm going to talk about 3 ways in which we can create goals for our organizations. So there are 3 processes that I'm going to share with us today. The first method or the first process is a top-down approach. How do we create goals using a top-down approach? Now, as the name suggests, it's very simple. It's simply a process where the most senior people within the organization are the people that set the goals and determine the pace. So your executive management, your board of directors, your senior executives, they are the people that determine the goals for the organization, and they cascade that down to the lower levels and expect them to implement and execute the plan. Now, the good thing about this method is that the goals will definitely align with the overall corporate strategy, the vision and the mission and all the strategic architecture of the organization. And the goals will be very, very ambitious. Yes, they will be so ambitious. But the downside is that the people who are going to execute all these goals might not take ownership because it was passed down to them from above, and they might feel that the goals are too ambitious and they might not be able to actually achieve them. So that's for the top-down approach. So what's the second approach? We could also think about a bottom-up approach. And as the name suggests, it simply means that those in the middle level cadre and the lower cadre are the people that determine the goals for the organization. When they've done that, they now pass it up to the senior management for review and ratification. Now, the good part of this method is that the people who determine the goals will take ownership of the goals. The challenge, however, is that the goals might not be sufficiently ambitious. But of course, these people are going to set the goals. They might not set goals that are going to really drive them so much. So the goals might not be sufficiently ambitious or challenging, but they would have ownership of the goals. So that is the second process, which is bottom up. Now, the third process is what we call the interactive. Here we have a merging of the 2 processes. So we have a lot of collaboration, a lot of interaction, a lot of coming together and sharing of thoughts and ideas from both the senior people and the lower level. So everybody comes together and they have a lot of interaction and collaboration about what the goals of the organization should be. Now, this method is very good because definitely the corporate goals and the corporate strategy of the organization will be properly represented in the goals, and the people who are going to execute the goals will take ownership. So you'd think that this would be the best way to go, right? Not exactly. Because there's also a challenge with this method, and the challenge is that there's a lot of back and forth. So you're talking and you're interacting and you're trying to reach consensus. And you and I know that trying to reach a consensus with a lot of people is usually very, very difficult. So if you're not careful, the downside of this method is that it might end up being a bottom-up method, and you might not really get what you set out to achieve in the first place. So which method would be best for your organization? It really depends on what you want to achieve. It also depends on how your organization is structured. Now, if you are an organization that the middle level and the lower level cadre know exactly what is expected of them, and they know what they need to do to actually drive the business forward, then you might decide to go for a bottom-up approach, because the people that are going to set the goals know exactly what they need to do. If, however, you have an organization where your middle and lower level staff need a lot of supervision, need a lot of direction, then you would be better off with a top-down approach. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it from me today. Happy goal setting. I do hope that with these 3 methods, you will be able to choose one method that is best suited for your organization in setting your overall goals and objectives. That's it from me, and in my next video, we'll talk more about other methods of goal setting.